During the editing of this video, we sadly had to say goodbye to Oz. He was such a huge part of our life, and this is his story as much as it is ours. We'll have more to say in future episodes about Oz, but for now you'll continue to see him in all of our Ningaloo episodes. Thanks to those who have reached out. We really appreciate your thoughts and we've felt the love.
Hi guys, travelling full-time on the road isn't always sunshine and rainbows. We get smashed by Mother Nature and Oz takes a turn for the worst.
Daz is heading off to go and retrieve our boat from North Lefroy and bring it back here to Point Billy. So he's got his alternate means of water transport. Walk down to the water here at Point Billy. So Point Billy, all the campsites are pretty much up on the cliff top and you have got views of the water, but the camps are not right on the water. There he goes. I reckon that'll take him half an hour maybe to get down there, 10 minutes back in the boat. So as you come up off the beach, here we are, site number 35. We're in site 34 for the next 2 nights. There's no one on it currently, but I rang the visitors centre and they said someone was coming in on it today, so we couldn't change to that for today. So we're doing what they call the Ningaloo Shuffle. Site 34 is just up there, round the bend. But this is the view from the campground. It's a really nice view. It'd be nice when the whales are running because you'd see lots of whales out there at the reef. And then you've got this beautiful view of the range on the other side. And have a look how green that is out there. It's quite beautiful. That was our shortest stay at a campground ever, I reckon. We pulled into Point Billy, set up in one site which we were only going to stay in for one night, so we didn't put much out, just our chairs and the awning. And then Daz supped down to North Lefroy to pick up the boat, came back. While he was gone, I found a site at South Lefroy for 3 nights, which looks like a primo site. And so when Daz got back, I told him about it. We packed up and we're now heading down to South Lefroy. So I think we were camped at Point Billy for a whole, maybe 2 hours all up.
2 hours?
2 hours. And we're on our way to South Lefroy. So 3 campsites in one day this will be. We're 6 weeks into our 4 months on the Ningaloo now, which is pretty good. We had our time at 14 Mile and then we've had a couple of weeks at North Lefroy. So we're loving this. We're getting lots and lots of boat time, lots and lots of water time and lots of sunshine. Here's our camp spot at South Lefroy, site number 14. It is amazing for 2 families. So we fitted the Hanger Tribe and us on site 14. No worries at all. Let me show you. So we've got the car parked up here so that we can use the winch to bring the boat up off the beach. Although while there's been 4 of us here, it's been no problem. A bit messy around the camp at the minute, but I get over here. This is a driveway, goes out to the track. The hangers are on the other driveway there, so it is on a bit of a loop. So we just drove up this driveway around here and hopefully we get out. It was a bit soft, we had to use the max tracks, but it's really good site, sheltered, big, great access to the beach as you can see there, and a great little beach out there as well. We've got a really high tide today, and when there's a high tide at South Lefroy, they actually close the campsites off down at the other end of the beach, but don't think it's going to get as high as our campsite, although you can see where the seaweed came to yesterday. Well, that's come today. Like, it's wet standing here now. It's got another half an hour till the high tide. See how we go. See down the end of the beach, there's no one camping there. But hopefully our boats will be safe where they are. We might not have recorded every second, but this fortnight was filled with quality time with our travel fam, the Hanger Tribe. There were beach hangs, sunset yarns, and a few cracking days out in the True Kit. Check this out, looking amazing. We are gonna get out there, catch us some fish. Oz is having a bit of a snooze in the van. He's had a big morning playing with the kids and exploring, so he will be happy in there with his Mickey mat. He's got our YouTubes playing for him so he can hear our voices. When the hangers get back from their boating episode, they'll let him out for us, so he'll be fine. We're gonna catch a big one! My God, the number of turtles is incredible. I'm just looking out here and there's little heads poking up everywhere. They're just everywhere. How good's this? Oh, my dinner, watching the turtles. Insane. So not everything was sunshine and sea spray. Oz was really starting to struggle. His mouth lesions weren't healing and he'd been on steroids since we left Sandy Cape and they just weren't cutting it. So under the vet's advice, we started him on a course of heavy duty medication, an immunosuppressant that hit hard and fast.
I think about all the years I made up, and I think I'm running out of time. Don't want a day when I say goodbye now, 'cause you leave a shiver down my spine. Don't let me fall to the ground.
So that was a big day, Leroy.
That was a huge day.
So we're down at South Lefroy, which is a pretty big day trip back into the nearest support town, which is Exmouth.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours each way, which a 5-hour return, plus your time to get to, on this occasion we had to get to the vet, we had to get to the caravan supplies, pick up some plumbing stuff for the caravan, we had to get to the fishing store, we had to get some water, we had to get some fuel, and we had to get some groceries and some alcohol. Oh yeah! All the real important stuff. But it's now 4:30, later than what we wanted to. So, been a real long day. I'm sharing the driving with Leroy because I am absolutely zonkered, and it's smart to not try and be the hero all the time and do the driving. Lee handles the big salty ram really well. And trust her heaps, and she's a good driver. So we're off to Yardie Creek where we'll air down. So once you get across the creek crossing, at the moment it's not bad, but if you give it enough beans through the either the exit point coming from the north, you're going to be fine.
There we go, the famous Yardie Creek crossing. There's the soft bit. Look at that. Like it's not even there. So you got, this is like quite moist, this sand here, a little bit chopped up, but you'd be definitely fine in the caravan through here. It is not too bad at all, and the number of people, we're right at the end of the school holidays, so the number of people that would have been across here in the last couple of weeks is probably as soft as it's going to get for a long time, although maybe that means it's as compact as it's going to get for a long time. So we're now got hour and a half, now we're on the other side of Yardie Creek to get back to camp.
We've got another couple of hours of driving, then we've got a big unpack of groceries. We're Lee's done shopping, we're still hanging the washing out that we've done today. Lee's done 3 loads of washing in the car wash at Exmouth. It now has a doggy wash, so you can wash your pooch, do your laundry. It's got a really quite a good laundry at the car wash. It's also a fuel station, and it's also the car wash itself. So it's a bit of a one-stop hit. Not that I'm much of a laundry expert by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems really clean. Ultra-modern machines. The whole place is pay with credit card. So it's a really good facility. The owners of that place have thrown a lot of money at it, and it's a bit of a mecca for the travellers. So get in there and support them. Anyway. Life on the Ningaloo is bloody fantastic, except for when this real life tries to creep back in. But we're fighting the machine.
So I'm just going to stand back here and observe, I think. Hopefully the winch just gives us that little bit of extra momentum that we need to get out, and for Daz to get around this corner. Just not sure which way the van is going to track. Really don't like the way the van's tracking, but I'll just see how it goes here. Okay, he's turned around. Alrighty, chuck the max tracks in. We're off.
So Winderabandi provided us everything that we'd hoped for. Amazing days out on the True Kit boat. Amazing days cruising around in the boat with friends, especially Oz. Oz really enjoyed his time at Winderabandi. It was lots and lots of boat hours, sneaking around the corner, getting out to the reefs, getting a lot more experience in the boat and travelling to the outer reef, going out to about the 18-metre mark. It was a steep learning curve for me, but we really, really enjoyed our time here. It's a very, very unique spot. It's very, very popular.
What a beautiful morning to be going for a fish. Daz is heading out there now. He has a special rig set up from Jimmy Primal and he is going to bring home the bacon, so to speak, tonight. Well, not bacon, he's going to bring home the fish. So he's going out by himself because Oz is not feeling well today, so I'm just going to stay and watch Oz. And off he goes. Daz is currently digging. It is about 20 minutes to high tide now, and we're starting to get some water coming up. It's not such an issue today. We're going to be okay today, but tomorrow the tide is even higher. And so we're just going to dig a little trench so that when the water comes up, because it's up to here, it's coming up to here today, and when it comes up, it's very close to our setup. So it's still got to come up a long way before it's under the van. But if we can avoid the water going under the van, that would be ideal. So I'm going to dig a trench today and watch the high tides over the next couple of days. It's high tomorrow, and tomorrow it's also higher winds, which might push the water in further, and it is higher swells. So bigger swells, bigger winds, higher tide means there's likelihood that we will have water coming up under the van, but we'll just keep an eye on it. It's no big deal. We're fine. We've actually got the boat tied onto the back of the van, so all that'll do is float around. Beach camping. Oh, look, this one's coming close. We've managed to finish our trench before the tide really hit. It's going to be good enough for today. Whether it lasts tomorrow's higher tide will be another test, but we might do some more digging later this arvo when the sand dries out a bit and it's not so heavy to shovel. For perspective, walked around the point and there is North Lefroy over there. So that's North Lefroy heading around to Point Billy, and then the point you can see down there is South Lefroy. You got the reef out here. How stunning is that, hey? This is Winderabandi Point, and this is the area that is the beachfront camping sites 1 to 11 here on the beach. It's currently closed to camping because of the high tides. So every month they close this off for, I think it's about a week at a time, and you can't camp here because the tides come up so high that potentially they flood the vans and bog the vans in. But the sites themselves are okay size. You are close together, kind of like at 14 Mile, I guess. It's no different to that. But you are directly on the beach. When we were down here hanging out with some mates a couple of nights, had a really good vibe down here. Everyone was very, very social. So you're looking back there to all the other campsites here at Winderabandi. It's just a beautiful, beautiful spot. Much more glassy on the other side because of the wind today, so I think Daz is going to head out for a fish around there. It's actually a sanctuary here in the bay at Winderabandi, so you can't fish here. No fishing allowed in here. You do have to go around the corner to North Lefroy. Not that that's an issue, but I guess if you're here, camped here on the point, it's a little bit closer to get out for fishing, but hey, it takes an extra minute from our campsite to get out. Winderabandi. How sweet is that? the Point Billy water point, and it's bore water. So it runs really slow.
It's really slow. So slow, I don't think it's going to pick up.
Yeah. So they reckon the best way to get it out a bit bullshit is use your pump. And we're just going to fill up some containers. I'll go get the other containers while you get that going, babe. So we've got these 10-litre water containers, and we're just going to put bore water into these, and then we're going to use these for our showering and our washing up water. We'll just use what we've got in the van for drinking. So this way, this is like, how long do you reckon it took us to drive here? 20 minutes from camp?
Oh, not even.
15 minutes maybe. And so 15 minutes versus 2.5 hours back into Exmouth. This extends our time off grid without having to go back into town. So we are aiming to not go into town for 4 weeks is our aim. We wanted 4 weeks in between town visits, and so this is one of the ways that we can stay off grid for longer. Meanwhile, this little poppet's been waiting in the back seat for us to fill up the water, haven't you, buddy? You good boy? And it's going to be a beautiful sunset on the Ningaloo tonight. It's a nice little bit of cloud to give some colour to the sky. And this is the track back to Winderabandi. But Oz wasn't getting any better. His energy dropped, his tummy got worse, and his sparkle just wasn't there. He really started to fade. The vet specialist back in Perth called it, stop the meds, give it a rest, give him a rest, and then we'll restart him again and slower. And so that's what we did. He was sad, and honestly, it was just heartbreaking to see him like that.
I am tight. I am tight. Oh, what have you got? Have you got your little toy?
Despite some good days where he bounced back and we could see signs of his old self and he was happy to run around and play with us and get out on the boat, he still wasn't right. When his limp started, we thought it was his shoulder playing up again, but it didn't get any better. In fact, it started to get worse. So today's one of the only days that the boat hasn't left the campsite. It's been a bit of a windy day. It did glass off slightly just before, but probably not enough to take the boat out. And the tide is also really low. So today we've sat here, we've done a few jobs, and Daz did some fishing from the shore, didn't catch anything. We're heading into Exmouth tomorrow, so we've prepared for that. It's a big journey, and so we have a checklist of things that have to be done before we go. So Oz is having some vet treatment tomorrow, and so in all likelihood we are going to end up back in Exmouth. in the next 4 weeks, but we're heading in there anyway just to top up. Van is currently full of water, so we're just going to fill up the bladder and the truck and have that ready with us. Oz has still got a limp and he's got a new growth on his paw that he keeps licking, so the vet's going to have a look at that tomorrow. He may need to have an x-ray to see if he has any lesions in his bones from this illness that he has, and if that's the case, then there's a whole nother treatment plan going on. So Oz continues to be a worry, but look at this, pretty blissful. What do you think, honey?
What's the question? What do I think?
What do you think? Is this blissful?
This is very, very blissful. It's definitely one of our favourite spots. I think this is very family centric. I think it's really perfect for the young family. It's a really soft entry beach. The beach is quite safe, as in there's not a lot of coral remnants around. So it's probably one of the more safer beaches on the coast. It's a good launching place for the fishing families out to the reef.
Even though you can't fish out here in Ningaloo Bay, you have to go around.
Winderabandi itself
Winderabandi Bay
is a sanctuary, but you can beach fish. You can't boat fish. So you've got to go around the corner or go back north or go out to the outer reef. But it's a pretty special spot. The range is just absolutely beautiful. The colours, the textures, the sunsets are some of the best you'll ever see. It's normally really, really protected from the prevalent southeasterlies. We've been here for a whole bunch of northeasterlies where it hasn't been as picturesque as what it gets, but that's just the journey of travel. Some days are perfect and some days are not so perfect, so you have to come back to locations to get them into their perfect conditions. And Mother Nature doesn't turn it on perfect every day. And we've experienced a little bit of that. We've had a few glamour days. We're heading off soon down to a camp south, not far from here, about another half an hour. And hopefully we get some really good weather windows down there. So that's what we're looking forward to. So cheers from Salty.
With Oz our number one priority, and knowing that tomorrow's tide was going to be higher, there was a storm surge and the swell was bigger, we set about moving everything to higher ground and preparing our campsite for the high tide. What we weren't prepared for, though, was what happened next. Shit, guys, this is your side. The caretakers apparently have sorted it out, but stay there. Oh, I'm going there. You can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me, but Google is stuck. I don't know where your shovel is. Guys, thinking it's trench. Your boat's still alive. There's not really much else you can do, is there? Basically to the point you can't get out. This is where the water gets to. Oh, I'm puffing. So the water gets to here. And then all in there. That's all blocked off. Can't get out. We've moved our van, but we can't move your van. Jake's just trying to dig a trench so it goes around your van instead of through your van. We've got 10 more minutes of high tide. It doesn't help when this humongous wave's coming. All right.
So Winderabandi, the gift that keeps on giving. We ran into Exmouth today because we had to get Oz to the vet. Our friends, the Hanger Tribe, who are only 2 sites down, sent us a video of
our site being swamped. And so you might have seen before that we had a big trench out the front like these guys next door. Ours was even bigger, and it's gone. It is gone. So they've ended up having to get our boat here. Our legs have all been washed out. Down here, this has all been just like a river, where our legs are, the van's sunk. Actually, it's all sunk down under here, which is going to be
That's not even sitting on the Redfoot now.
With the amount of water that has been cascading down through here, and the host moved everything for us and stuck it all up onto the sand dunes, which was really awesome. These guys are just volunteers, and we left at 6:30 this morning to go do the run into Exmouth. It normally takes 6 o'clock now, so we left at 6:30. At 6 o'clock we just walked, I was going to say walked in the door. We've just gotten back, and this is what we've gotten back to. So a little bit exciting times on the Ningaloo.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna.
Here's some of our water bottles.
We had 2 of those.
Yeah, this is the one under there somewhere.
Oh, at least your teddy survived. I also don't know about your cushion. There's Teddy. There's our chairs down there. Wow, well, first things first, I guess we need to get the van stable so we can sleep in it tonight, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Just the front? Yeah. Still 2 hours to high tide, and the water is coming up and under where we moved the van to, so we are quickly packing up, ready to leave.
Hey guys, we're going to have to leave this here for obvious reasons, but join us next week where we give you an update on Oz, and stay, well, salty, but not this freaking salty.